We're back for another video. This time it will be the unboxing of a Kitchenaid mixer. This is the Kitchenaid mixer that we recently purchased here at the Tshirtcooking kitchen. Shout out to all of my subscribers. Shout out to all of my financial contributors, like my Patreon subscribers, everybody who visits my website and purchases any sort of merchandise, to all of my private investors. Shout out to anybody who has financially supported me in any sort of other way, like donations, etc. You guys have all made this happen. Yes, this machine is hundreds of dollars. However, if you're watching this video already, you've completed the correct first step, which is do your own research, do your own due diligence before spending hundreds of dollars on a large kitchen apparatus like this that's also quite expensive. It's always good to do your research. So now I'll unbox this and we'll see what we get. All right, now that we unboxed that and there's a little bit of styrofoam a bit everywhere in the kitchen, it was not too heavily packed. Pros and cons to that, I guess, but the machine looks to be in good condition. I may have just scratched it myself, but it's all good. You could order this in 4 different colors. I took the red because when you're buying a Kitchenaid mixer, it has to be that traditional red, or at least for your first one anyway. It's like buying a Ferrari. The first one has to be red. After that, you can get whatever color you want. I believe this mixer is the equivalent to the 600 Professional. It's the 6 quarts. That's 947 milliliters per quart, so that's 5.6 liters. 11 speeds depending on what you're making. By the way, this isn't a sponsored post. Kitchenaid didn't give me any money for this. They definitely don't even know who I am. Probably won't ever know who I am. There's 4 attachments. There's the dough hook. So this is just for when you're making bread or if you're making pizza dough, whatever it may be, to knead the dough instead of doing it by hand like you'll see in my pizza video where I failed to make a good quality pizza. There's this thing, the wire whip. This is to make cookies and stuff. We might even use it later to make some cookies, maybe make some cakes and all that. Allegedly, this is a special gift that was included, which is the flex edge beater. I assume that when it spins in here, it's because it touches the edge or something. I don't really know what I would use this for, but nothing that the internet can't help me with. Then we have the flat beater. I assume you could probably even use this to shred meat, maybe to shred chicken or something. I don't know. Probably other purposes for this. I really don't know. The 2 things that I wanted were the wire whip and the dough hook. And there's also the flour shield. I don't know if that's the real name. Maybe it's a pouring shield. I'll call it the flour shield. The only reason that I call it the flour shield is because this is good that when you're making a recipe and you're putting only a little bit of flour at a time, what you do is you attach this and then you pour it and the flour doesn't all come up. So you know when you have to pour it slowly, sometimes if you have an open area, it's just going to all go in the air and then you have to clean your house for half an hour after your recipe. I don't know if this is dishwasher safe or not, but I'll just clean it by hand. I'm sure it says somewhere in the instructions, but nobody really reads the instructions. I also got this list and it looks like they're trying to advertise all the different attachments that you could get with the different part numbers, maybe what you could use it with. I'm sure Kitchenaid has some sort of website or some series of videos showing you different creations, but we'll make creations ourselves using this machine on our channel. We're gonna be making cakes, we're gonna be making dough, we're gonna be making bread, cookies, other things. We will be using this. I mean, once again, before spending hundreds of dollars on this, make sure you have a reason to use it. For me personally, I just couldn't bear spending $5 on a loaf of bread when instead I could buy a machine that costs $500 and spend 30 minutes of my time making the loaf of bread myself. Anyways, as you probably realized by now, I'm a rookie in the kitchen, despite having a YouTube channel where I have a few dozen videos. Nevertheless, we're gonna get this machine, we're gonna put it to use. The other model, which was only about $150 cheaper, had much worse ratings, and I know people who had this model for years and years who use it on a weekly basis, and it still runs perfectly fine. Now, what we're going to do is we're gonna clear all of this, and we'll try a cookie recipe. We'll try my cooking recipe, which I believe was my 4th or 5th video ever, and we're gonna see how it works with the Kitchenaid mixer rather than doing it by hand. Now, what we're going to do is we're gonna clear all of this. We'll try a cookie recipe. We'll try my cooking recipe, which I believe was my 4th or 5th video ever, and we're gonna see how it works with the Kitchenaid mixer rather than doing it by hand. Quick little instruction, how to place the bowl in here, which is surprisingly more difficult than you might think because you have to force it a little bit, is when you put it, there's this little clip on the end here that goes to this piece that has to sit right. And also you wanna make sure that your lever is in the down position, like that. And we're just going to match that, and we will now have to push a little bit. And there you go, it's locked in. All right, I should have definitely put this first because I don't know how I'm supposed to get this in here. Okay, never mind, it does fit. And this is a little pin on the side over here, and you would just fit it with that edge right over there, exactly where the pin is. Now, of course, I washed this just after taking it out of the box, and I just didn't show that on camera. All right, so it just enters. You go up, you turn it, and then it locks to the side, and we're gonna see what happens now once we start spinning it. All right, now we conveniently had all of the cooking ingredients that just so happen to be prepared on the side that we will now use this mixer for, just to test it out as our first recipe. This is just chocolate chip cookies. You'll see it in one of my videos. Plus, I'll do a few special things to them, but I'll make a new video, by the way, for my cookies, my updated method, which is even better. Now, the moment of truth, let's turn it on and let's hope that it spins. All right, I think it works. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this cookie recipe and we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if you could hear me right now with the mic on, but I think it's working. This definitely seems to be mixing my brown sugar, white sugar, butter, and salt all together. Wow, this is so easy. I can narrate while it does the mixing on its own. I don't know if you could hear anything that I'm saying right now, but this is just really cool that I can do that. And it just so happens, by coincidence, once again, that the oven is already preheated to 350 degrees. I don't know how that happens. It's crazy. It's the magic of videos. All right, I've been running this for a few minutes. Let's use this shield just because we can. All right, so even with the shield, I still made a mess everywhere, dropping the flour in there. Kitchenaid, if you're watching this, some way, somehow, novices like me still make a mess, even with the shield. Okay, I get it now. I just learned from my mistake in real time. It was spinning too fast, and that's what caused all of the flour to go everywhere. I'm making a mess everywhere on my counter, but it's all good. I'm making a mess everywhere, but I do it for the people. I do it for all the Tshirtcooking fans who subscribe to my Patreon, who financially support me, who donate money to the cause, who help me purchase this equipment so I could reinvest in the channel. We're finally done with the cookie dough mixing. I mixed it for a few more minutes. I tested different speeds. Obviously, if you go too fast, start shooting out of the bowl. You go too slow and I don't know, maybe it just doesn't mix enough. I did in fact make a mess still with the flour, but as you all know, I'm a novice baker. That's why I even bought this machine. That's why I'm not buying some sort of $5,000 commercial machine. That's why this isn't a commercial kitchen. This is my house. I'm a novice baker. Maybe you are too. Maybe that's why you're looking into a machine like this. You know, I'm not making 10,000 cookies a week here. I'm only making a bowl for maybe like 60 cookies. And this is sort of what it looks like mixed. Except that on the wall, I had to scrape a little bit since a lot of it obviously stuck to the wall. Maybe that's what this edge beater, that's what this thing is, that perhaps it has the edge rubber that maybe scrapes the side wall. So I guess now I know why it's useful. Now we don't need to make a video of it since I already have a video, but I'm gonna put these cookies in the oven. We're gonna get them out. We're gonna clean everything here. We're gonna clean the machine and I'll give some final thoughts. All right, we're finally back. Cookies are out of the oven. That was our first ever bake using something that I made with the Kitchenaid mixer. Once again, just to wrap it up and final thoughts, I cleaned it up now. It wasn't too difficult to clean. It's more so my kitchen because of the flour from what you saw earlier, so don't make the same mistake that I did. We're probably all novice bakers and that's why we're looking at machines like this and not, you know, those high-end commercial machines in the thousands of dollars. We'll see if this machine will earn its worth with time. I'll have more videos coming up where I'll be using this for multiple different things. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you want me to try any recipes with this machine, and I will do it. One last thing before I let you guys go. This was one of the most asked about questions online regarding this product, and I don't know how I completely forgot to address it, but we're gonna use a measuring tape here. This is about 16.5, I'd say, if we go with the top, and standard kitchen cabinet height, I'm looking at just under 19 inches. So if you're someone who wants to keep this in your kitchen on the counter, then perhaps you can do so, but just make sure you measure. It's about 16.5, 16 3/4, just to be sure. Remember, when you're pulling it off, you're lifting it a little bit to pull it. So make sure that it's not just, since it is a little bit heavy, you don't want to just drag it on your counter. Thank you guys for watching. This was a long episode. This was a very difficult video to make. It was just a lot of processing and prep, and I'll see you guys next time. By the way, I completely forgot to mention, the cookies, they came out quite uniform. So however this mixed, it did it correctly since each cookie is very uniform. Good stuff.